This video is me telling a story because I forgot to vlog it.
How y'all doing, man? As you can see, I'm finally back in New York, as you can see from my window over there. The Empire State Building, yeah. Actually, now that I think of it, if that was actually a window, I'd have to be higher than the Empire State Building to... Anyways, so I was in Kansas for a month, and it was fun. Anyway, today isn't about Kansas, it's about the trip from Kansas back to New York, because, whoo, my god, was that a crazy experience. It was a normal day. It was a completely normal day. We get up, we're going to the airport, because it was about, this water bottle was empty. It was about 9 a.m. and the flight was at 11-ish, and we got there and the flight was delayed to 12. Alright, I was like, no big deal, we'll just wait a little bit. We were there at 9 o'clock. We got Dunkin' Donuts right before that, so we were pretty set. Got that bagel. Man, I really want a bagel now. So then I basically waited for like a good hour with them. They didn't leave, the people that were dropping me off. And I got in, I was like, okay, we getting ready. But it was a connecting flight. So, from Kansas, it was gonna go fly to Detroit to come back here to New York. And I was like, okay, no big deal, I can handle it. I'm a bird burr. So we got to Detroit, we get flying to Detroit. By the way, I'm taking Spirit Airlines. If you know anything about Spirit, it's basically the taxi of air travel. We get there to Detroit, and it gets delayed. 2 hours. 2 horas. And I was like, you know what? Seems like fun. So, basically, I got there at 3:30ish around the Detroit time, and the flight was gonna be at 6 Detroit time. So I was like, no problem. I go get some McDonald's. I get myself that Filet-O-Fish sandwich. Don't ask why I got a Filet-O-Fish. I like fish. So then I got my Filet-O-Fish. I ate my Filet-O-Fish. Then I was like, dang, those headphones actually they're right here. These headphones I was wearing on the plane weren't really good. Like, I was wearing these and I could not hear anything. This was me the whole damn flight, alright? And it wasn't a good experience. So I went to that inside the gift shop. I'm like, I'm gonna buy myself good pair of headphones. So I'll go in there and they're 15 bucks for these. These were 15 bucks. They're not any brand. Don't ask why they're pink. Yeah, I buy them anyways because I really wanted to watch my movie on the plane. Not that Spirit offers you any in-flight entertainment. I had to download those movies by myself. And so I got the earphones. I went to sit down. They announced it that the flight got 2 hours delayed even more. So now it was gonna be at 8 o'clock and it was currently only like 5 o'clock. And I'm like, oh my god, I need a good chart. I need a wall block. You know those things, yeah. Because I already had a wire, but I didn't have a wall block for whatever reason. So I go over to the gift shop again, and their thing is 15 bucks again, and I got the wall block, alright? I had to buy it, or else I would lose all communication with outside life, and I would not be able to contact my family and friends. So then I wait around for a little bit. I'm FaceTiming my familia, and all of a sudden, they go, yeah, y'all suckers, yeah, your flight's canceled. I've never been in this situation before. I have no idea what to do. I'm alone in Detroit. I'm a minor, and all of a sudden, I get this idea. I'm like, maybe I could fly back to Kansas now, because I wasn't over the vacation mood. So everybody from the flight, there's like people crying and stuff. We go downstairs to the kiosk, and there's a huge line. It went around like this, and basically I'm waiting there on that line. I'm like, dude, I need to get back to New York or to Kansas, I don't care. And on top of all this, I had checked luggage, but it was in a cardboard box, okay? And that box I had to carry around this whole time. Just keep this in mind. So there's this woman that works for Spirit walking around the line, and I tell her I'm a minor, I don't have enough money to buy a hotel to stay in Detroit. Because the next flight was on Thursday, and this was on a Tuesday. And I'm like, no. So basically, then my family starts calling them, and they due to all the backlash they get. By the way, I hate Spirit. Don't fly on Spirit. Don't do it to yourself. So, yeah, and she's like, basically like a really shady person would go. So, all right, listen up, all right. We can't tell this to any of the other passengers, but we did book you a flight on Delta. And I'm like, oh snap, Delta Airlines flight. And that sounds like, yes, better than Spirit. And she's like, you can't tell anybody else about this. We did this for you because you were a minor and you were alone. And I'm like, okay. And then she says that your checked luggage, we refunded the money for your checked luggage to the card that was used to charge on the checked luggage. I did not have a card on me, just to know. I had only cash on me. Like, I had like 15 bucks left at this point. So then she's like, okay, I'll give you the direction to go, and I had to go through the whole process again. I had to check in, I had to print my boarding pass, and go through security, all alone in Detroit, alright? So she gives me these directions to go to where all the flight bookings are, and I'm like, okay, I'll go there, and I had to buy myself one of those trolley thingies, because I'm not carrying that cardboard box around, it's pretty heavy. So I do that, I go to the thing, and there's this woman working for United Airlines over there, and I'm like, where's the stuff for Delta Airlines? And she's like, it's in another terminal. At this point, I was so done with life, alright? I've been having the worst day. This woman was the nicest woman ever, first of all. She showed me the way to the shuttle, and she was like, if this was my kid, this would be a bad thing. So she gets me to the shuttle, and I say goodbye to her because she has to get back to work. She works for United. And so the shuttle comes. It's at a different terminal. Oh my god. It's alright. This is the shuttle. So the shuttle comes. I get on the shuttle. I can't take my trolley on the shuttle. So I grab the box and I put it on the thing, and I get inside the shuttle. And there was a couple of other people that also got switched to that flight. I think they were lying about me being a minor part, and that's the only reason they gave me the thing, because there was this grown woman with me the entire time. But like, she was away most of the time. It doesn't matter. Alright, so we get to the other terminal, and I go inside, and so domestic check-in, alright? I go inside to the domestic check-in lady, and she's like, oh, you know, we closed, so you gotta go to the international check-in, and they'll get you there. I'm like, so I go over to the international check-in station, and she's like, no problem. And I give her my thing. I had my boarding pass printed out, and I give her my box, and I'm like, can you check this in? She's like, it's 25 bucks, and I'm like, what? And I'm like, okay, 25 bucks. I thought I had 25 bucks in my pocket for sure. I'm like, I must have 25 bucks lying around, right? And she's like, you can only use card. And I'm like, and she's like, don't worry, there's a card to, there's a cash to card switcher thing over there. And I'm like, yes, there is. And I go over there, and I try to switch my cash to card, and I only have 15 bucks. And it was $25 to get that thing, and there's a $5 charge to switch it from cash to card. At that point, I broke down. I was like, oh my god, what am I gonna do? So I went up to the lady, and I'm like, I don't have any money. This woman was a blessing, because she's like, don't worry about it, I got you. And she's like, she just literally checks me in, and I'm like, oh my god, thank you so much. So I go to security now, and they check me in security, and I go through that security stuff. All of a sudden, so I'm in Detroit International Airport. It's a lit airport. Like, there's gates and everything, and like this one straight line, and above that, there's a train running that takes you from one gate to another gate. It's lit. And it was a whole mall. There was like a P.F. Chang's there, McDonald's and everything. So we got to this point where I didn't know what gate I was in. I kept looking at my thing, and I was too blind to tell that it said A29 on it. And I go to the board, and it says A29, alright? I get to A29, and they're flying, like, they're going to Ohio. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to Ohio. And so I asked the lady at the desk, and she's like, we're not going to LaGuardia New York Airport. And I'm like, y'all better be. I checked the board, and it said it's this one. She's like, oh, then it might be this one right after this. I'm like, and at this point, my stupid ass charger wire was not charging my phone well. I needed to stay in contact with my family. So I asked the woman over there, oh, but this story is full of great women that helped me on this whole trip. Respect. Alright. So, this woman, I asked her, I'm like, can I please use your charger? I have to stay in contact with my family and, like, my phone's gonna die and my charger isn't working. And she's like, sure. And I take it. And I have that on for a while, and everything's chill and well. And then all of a sudden, the announcer goes, LaGuardia, New York Airport, last call for boarding. And I'm like, duh! And then I run over to that terminal that they said. It was a random ass terminal. It was not A29. I go there and they're like, sorry, the flight's already gone. And I'm like, what? And then I figure it out, and they're like, no, there's 2 flights going to New York, and this is not yours. And I'm like, y'all just stressing me out today. So at this point, it's like 10 o'clock. My flight was for 9, and now that also has been delayed to 12. And I'm like, oh my god. I get some McDonald's to eat. The woman has to leave for Ohio, so I give her wire back, and I have to stay with that crappy wire. I get my McDonald's, and because I didn't have enough money to get anything else, so I sit down on the chair, and I'm like, I'm gonna just wait this out, put my phone on charge, like that, and I'm like wiggling with it because it's being stupid, and then poof! What? The thing broke. And my phone was only at 3%. I was like, oh no! This is the worst thing that could have happened. So I went everywhere trying to look for a gift shop that was open. They all closed down after 10 o'clock. It was like 10:30. I saw that sign for one of those other gift shops at the end of the terminal. It was really far away. I didn't know if it was closed, but the lights were like doing the thing. So I ran so much, and I got there and it was closed. But then this was a miracle. This was a gosh darn miracle. There was a table over there, and there was this bright blue wire. This one. Just sitting there, and that gate was empty. There was no one there. And I took that wire, and I was like, this is some serious snacks going on over here. So I go back to my terminal. At this point, I was so done with life. As you can tell, this story's just been full of misfortune. And I just wait. I'm like, pick me up, take me to the gate. Alright? So the flight finally gets there. I get on the plane. Flying in New York. Delta Airlines, yo. It was a nice plane. Yo, Spirit sucks. I get back to New York. And at this point, it's 2 a.m. in New York. And I get there, and I call my mom and mom's like, oh, we're just almost there, you know? And I'm like, okay. I get my box, and I put it, and I want to go put it on a cart. But at this point, I don't have enough money to even buy a cart. So this nice man this time, he's like, oh, if you go out there, there's like these ones lying around that no one's using. And I'm like, thank you so much. And I take my box and I put it on that cart. And now it's the wait for someone to come pick me up. I'm just waiting, dude. And like they take like 40 minutes and they get there. I'm like just kind of rolling around in my cart. And when they get there, I get inside the car and the day is done. My god, it was a crazy day. Honestly, I would be lying if I said it wasn't like a big adventure for me. Nothing this interesting happens in my life. Okay, and yeah, basically that's about it. I feel like a completely changed person after all the experiences I went through. They were tough, dude. It may not sound like it, like by the way I'm saying it, but there was a lot more that happened that would take way too long to explain. But anyways, thank you guys for watching this. Why ever you watch this, I don't know why you care, but yeah. I'm back in New York now. School starts in 2 weeks now. I'm in depression. Don't fly, Spirit. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe.